These are for the hissy spit kittens that you guys are all out there trapping and nobody wants. We are now going to have a lion tamer center with a separate room for the neonates and the lions, I call them, in hopes of saving some more of those lives. A little bit about Peggy Adams. We're 91 years old. 1925, Peggy Adams Animal Rescue League started out as the Humane Society of the Palm Beaches, and it ran that way until about 1982. In 1982, a woman named Peggy Adams passed away. She never saw this place before. She passed away, and her husband came to us with a huge chunk of money and said, my wife deceased, she left this money, she's going to build you a whole new building, but you have to name it after her. And we did, and it remains that way today. Our original facility sat on the property that is now Palm Beach International Airport. And we moved to our new location now. Anybody ever been up there? Okay, the domes, that's what Peggy Adams' husband paid to build. So over that past 91 years, we've developed many things, but within the last 5 years, we've moved into our next phase, whereas we opened the beautiful Grace Pavilion. That was a generous donation from the Grace family that allowed us to open what is supposed to be a medical center. However, by the time we finally got it up and running, the dome started falling apart. So we're now using the medical center for many things, but the best part about that medical center is it's 8 surgery suites, where we can do a lot of surgeries in there. We do also do adoptions. We also have cats in 14 of the pet supermarket stores in Palm Beach County. We have a low-cost vaccine clinic we're now running there. We're serving about 40 clients a day for low-cost vaccines. And we also run something called the Peggy's Pantry Food Bank, where we're giving out about 10,000 pounds of food a month to people who can't afford food and might otherwise surrender their pet to a shelter. We supplement them with food so that they can keep their pet in the home. But like I said, the best thing we're doing right now is we've got those surgery suites up and running, and we are capable of doing 70 spay-neuters a day out of those surgery suites. 70 spay-neuters a day out of one location. Again, my name is Paul Bates. I've been working for Peggy Adams Animal Rescue League for about 7 years now. It'll be 7 years next month, actually. I started off in client services at the front desks, worked every aspect of the shelter, but was there when we got our TNR program up and running. From the very bottom. I was part of getting it up and running. Today I am the Community Outreach TNR person, but I do a little bit of everything you guys all do. I actually have a truck with 30 traps in it, and I literally go out to 1 a.m. in the morning trapping cats just like you guys do. So believe me, I know your pain, I know how it feels. I do RTF like he does. I trap cats, I clean traps, I do it all. I have no employees under me. So it's me, it's all me. Let me share with you a few numbers from up there in Palm Beach County. Sorry I'm not using this, I don't like it. I want all the attention on me. So we've, speaking of coalitions, we work very closely with our local animal care and control. Again, we're the Humane Society. This is Animal Care and Control. We work very closely with ours. They're our friends. We love them. So we combine our numbers so that we can get a good snapshot of the whole county up there, what's really going on. So back in 2008, let's step back, 2008, 19,212 cats and kittens were surrendered to the 2 shelters, as in here, take these. 19,000, think of that figure. Of those 19,000, sadly, 14,300, had to be euthanized for lack of space. 14,000 in 2002. So it was in this year that the board of directors and all of us said, not acceptable, something's got to change here. Not acceptable. So they put a plan in place to make that better. By 2010, everything was in place to start doing TNR by following models from, of course, all around the rest of the country. We only had a handful of you, maybe three people going out trapping cats. We announced the start of our TNR program, and that year we provided TNR to 163 cats, 163. Fast forward 6 years to last year, 2016. with many bumps in the road. Many, many, many bumps in the road. We managed to provide TNR services to 6,800 cats. Right there, Peggy Adams on RSPB. We're pretty proud of that. That's a pretty big number from the beginning. So what did this do to affect that euthanasia number back in 2008? Well, in 2016, instead of having 19,000 cats surrendered to the local shelters, we only had 10,000 cats surrendered to the local shelters. And instead of having 14,000 cats euthanized, we only saw 3,000 cats euthanized. So this TNR works, people. If it's animals you want to save and no killer you want to see, this is the way we're going to get there. Sure, we all love dogs too. We want to do everything we can for dogs. But that's not where we're seeing the euthanasia. And that's why I would love to see that broken out. We're seeing it in the cats. And that's why, of course, we're all here today. So, this passion we have, this work that we do, this goal that we have comes with lots of stress. I mean, lots of stress for everyone involved. No matter what aspect you're in this, there is stress that comes with this. For the purposes of my little demonstration, I need a volunteer. Volunteer? How about this lady right here? Come stand right here next to me. This is a ball of stress. We all carry it around. And this work we do comes with lots of it. Ball of stress. So, what's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie. Right now, Debbie's Alessandra. For the purpose of this. How's that? So, Alessandra, you get a call from Sally. Sally says she got a citation from ACC. She's got to have these 5 cats outside her house sterilized, and you got to have it done by the 9th. Today's the 7th. Alessandra gets the call. She's screaming on the phone. I'm going to get tickets. I'm going to get in trouble. My brother's girlfriend's wife's sister, ex-husband, and I couldn't get it done, and we got to get somebody here right away. Alessandra's feeling that stress. Alessandra is now stressed. She finally calls around looking for one of you guys to get there and help this lady right away. 10 phone calls later, everybody's got 15 reasons why they can't go right now. No, maybe in 3 weeks, maybe in 4 weeks. Alessandra's stressing some more. Finally, she gets a hold of Susie in South County, and Susie says, okay, I'll help. Susie tells her husband, sorry, honey, no movies tonight. I got a trapping call, gotta go out. Husband raises a bit more stress. Next, Susie calls this Sally Smith to set up the meeting and tell her, don't feed the cats tonight. Well, Sally reads her the usual riot act about her husband's ex-wife's girl, sister's boyfriend. I don't have enough money to buy food for all these cats. Sally's stressed. Next, Susie tries to call around and get some appointments for these 5 cats that she plans on trapping tonight and bringing in tomorrow. Finally, she gets... Oops, back up. She calls the first 2 places, and of course her call goes directly to voicemail, and maybe someone will call her back in 2019. Finally, she gets an appointment at place number 3. And of course the girl tells her on the phone, but you better be on time or I'm giving away your appointments. All right, I'll get there on time. Now, Susie arrives at Sally's house to trap the 5 cats. She's got 5 traps. She walks up to the front door, and there on the front step is a pile of kibble and bits. Damn it.
That's mild.
Okay. So now, Susie goes about cleaning up the kibbles and bits, all the while Sally's standing at the front door talking about the ex-husband and the dysfunctional family activities and... Oh, God. So now the traps are set. It's 10 p.m. and Susie's waiting. She's waiting and waiting, waiting. Okay, I got 3. She's holding out for that last 2 and her husband calls and he's wondering, is it really cat she's at? At 11 p.m., she finally gets the last 2 and realizes she only brought 4 trap covers. She asks Sally if she's got some old towels, and Sally, no, I don't have any old towels. So she's forced to pull the sheet out of the back of her car that was supposed to protect the carpeting and use that to cover the last trap on the way in, and now I gotta worry, I hope nobody explodes in the car. Finally, Susie gets home around midnight, and she goes to set the 5 cats up for the night under her carport where she normally parks her car. The wind is blowing like wild this night, and the trap covers won't stay on, and it's pitch black out. She's running around looking for some rocks to hold those trap covers on. She finally makes it inside by about 12:30, and she needs to get some sleep. Of course, the husband wants to talk, and he's mad because, what are you, married to the cats, not me? She finally gets out of bed, gets in bed, and gets a little bit of sleep. Jumps up the next morning frantically at 6 a.m. and gets out the door to get to her appointments by 8 o'clock. Pulls into a Circle K for a cup of coffee. Just when she comes out, there's some lunatic standing next to her car jumping up and down. You can't leave cats in your car when you go in for a cup of coffee! Now she jumps on I-95, dead standstill. She's 15 minutes away from the clinic, and one of the cats lets out a gastroatomic ball. Stress ball of the worst. Susie finally arrives at the clinic with 3 minutes to spare. She walks in with the cat who let out the bomb, and everybody in the lobby's looking at her. Late. Hey. Susie goes and lays her trap down on the floor, when sure enough, Tammy comes running out from behind client services. Lady, ma'am, you can't lay that filthy cat down on our clean lobby floor. Right. Okay, now we're going to switch to Tammy, client services, Tammy. Tammy has another trapper standing in standby who was waiting to hope she didn't show up so she could get her 5 appointments. Now Tammy's got to go tell that lady, I'm sorry she showed up, I can't get you in, you're going to have to take your 5 cats back. So now Tammy cases the cats in, and she proceeds to take them back to the vet tech. Of course, there's one with a sheet on it, and the sheet's blowing all kinds of... And the vet tech right away approaches Tammy and tells Tammy, that's going to present a problem. You've got to find something else to cover that cat with. I can't get that cat out of that. Okay. Now you're Val, vet tech. Val needs to get these cats processed. We got to get them into surgery. It's late. Look what time she got here. I got to get these cats in. There's too much to do. Val starts on the first one, only to see there's a cat food can and a wad of newspaper in the trap. She starts to turn the trap around, trying to figure out if it's a boy or a girl, and the cat's flying around, the can's flying and hitting the cat in the head, the newspaper wad is all wadded up, and she can't tell if this is a boy or a girl or not. But she's got to go, I got to get these cats in, it's now. She finally gets to the last one, and it's the one with the gastro upset. And realizes there's no way this trap is going into surgery, we're going to have to do a transfer and get this trap out of here. But we're going to get them all in there. Okay, now you're Dr. Stitches.
Let go of your stress.
Dr. Stitches yells over to Val. Is everybody in? Okay, what do we got? Val yells back to Dr. Stitches. Yep, we got 12 females, 9 pregnant, 10 males, and 2 of them only have 1 testicle showing. So now Dr. Stitches has got a rather hard day coming on. Tammy from client services has got to get all these cats cased in. On top of that, she's got to case them all out. I got tags to sell, I got things to do. I didn't expect this many cats today. I really didn't. Now Susie's got to get to work. And she's got to make sure she gets back here in time to pick up those 5 cats and get them back to the place where they came from. Finally, the cats get picked up and they get brought back to Sally's house, and Sally's standing out the door. I didn't want them back. I don't have money for food. Thank you, volunteer. The point is, we just killed someone with stress. We just knocked out one of you. Because, you know what? This stuff that we do is stressful. And that brings me to the topic of my conversation, which is working together. Each and every one of us, whether you're Sally the feeder, Alessandra the coordinator, Susie the trapper, Tammy from client services, or Val the vet tech, we are all stressed in this work that we do. Because it's fairly new. It's fairly new. It's only like 5 years old for the most of us, and we haven't perfected it yet. It's stressful. I guarantee you it is stressful. So why do we keep doing it? Because 3,000 cats euthanized is so much better than 14,000 cats euthanized. Once I had, a few times I've had in my life, a boss that would say to me, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to get a job done. To this I say, not in this job. The only way a person is going to survive in this work that we do is to make friends. Have empathy for one another all the way across the board. From the person you're trapping for, to the person that's taking the cats in, to the person that's pushing the cats out, to the person that's doing the RTF for them. Each and every one of it is stressed. We're stressed because this is new. We're stressed because this is hard. It's a little bit outside the box. What are some of the things we do up in Palm Beach County to better work together, to understand and help each other? One of the things I do every year is I budget for a whole lot more traps than I really need. And if I see somebody who's doing a lot of TNR and complaining they could do more because if they had more traps, I buy them some more traps. That relieves a little bit of stress on that one. Another thing I do is I maintain an email blast with about 150 names on it. I keep everybody together in a loop. Here's everything that's going on, here's everything that's coming up, here's everything that you need to look out for. We have a vet on vacation next week. I don't know if we're going to be able to do more than 30 or 40 a day. Maybe avoid that day. Keep everybody in the loop. Make sure everybody knows everything. If I get a large donation of cat food from a cat food company or a distributor, the first thing I do is I call you guys. I don't offer it to anybody that walks in the door. I go, you guys know who needs it. You are the guys out there on the ground. That will reduce your stress because Sally can't afford to feed those cats, remember. But the best thing that has ever happened to pull together our community cat world up in Palm Beach County was the development of the Facebook page called the Community Cats of the Palm Beaches. So in August of 2014, I had been communicating with a gal who lives in Lake Worth, Florida. She wanted to help our community cats efforts, so she arranged a meeting at a little restaurant downtown Lake Worth. A couple of older ladies showed up and I brought some traps and a few little things that I had at the time. Gave a little trapping lesson and we talked about TNR. And on that day, she decided that the best thing she could do to help our county was develop this community cat page called Community Cats of the Palm Beaches. Today, that page has 1,500 members. 1,500 members. That woman who started and still administrates that page, name is Donica Dahl. Donica would have loved to be here with you today, but she's out of state with community issues. However, she did send along a note that she'd like me to read to you. It says, "Hi Broward Community Cat Advocates. Yes, I saw that we just passed the 1,500 mark the other day. Absolutely amazing. And to think how this all started with Paul and I talking, and me pestering Paul. I just wasn't satisfied with the lack of knowledge and I wanted more. And it all started with us organizing a cat meeting down at that restaurant. And it has just grown from there. Absolute success. Our group is a poster child of what can happen when people come together to work together for the good, and here's the biggie, not for your egos. Ego translates to arguing. Sadly, we have learned to delete every post that spreads any kind of negativity. Some of the more important points that I feel I would like to make are the support we have from our local shelter, Peggy Adams, ACC, and other rescues all sign up and use this valuable resource. It binds us together as one. We have educated people who comment in the group. There are people who know about the county ordinances, there are people who know about Medicare, and they are there to guide us in a moment's notice. I was determined to educate people on the use of ivermectin, and look at us now, we use that stuff as like cotton candy. Shh, don't tell any vets this. It's a secret. But yes, there was a gentleman here earlier, I see he's left. It is not a problem. You guys can buy ivermectin, you can use ivermectin, it's very simple. You can treat all of these cats out in the colonies. Just a few months ago, I hosted at Peggy Adams a secret treating the cats in the community. I wasn't allowed to be part of it because working for an organization like Alexandra does, we're not allowed to tell you how to medicate cats in the community, but you can tell each other. You can tell each other. So I hosted it there. I provided the cookies, coffee, and spot. We do not allow fighting or arguing in the group. Any sign of this, the person is banned. We highly encourage helping one another. We uplift and empower one another. We share our collective knowledge. By eliminating the negativity and fighting, we simply don't allow it to fester. I have purposely managed this group the same as I would manage employees in my department, trying to empower them by educating, praising, and encouraging them. I'm always trying to make let people get the help that they need, and we seldom ever are not able to help someone who is trying to help the community cats. The Facebook group started as Community Cats of Lake Worth, but when the grant funding ran out for the Lake Worth area, we decided to change the name of the group to a more county-wide name. So together as a group, we voted and decided on the name Community Cats of Palm Beaches. And here we are today. We have come so far. Much of our progress was due to you and the help and guidance from Peggy Adams Animal Rescue Leagues and its staff members. We are so fortunate to all have each other. For the Broward Kitties and Cat Advocates, I really hope that everyone working in or providing some type of service for community cats uses your very own Community Cats of Broward Facebook page. Monitor it. Keep it uplifting with success stories and stay focused on helping the community cats. I wish you the best as we count down to zero euthanasia. On that note, I thank you and ask if you have any questions.